What if the hero we all know and love, Naruto Uzumaki, never had Hinata Hyuga by his side? It's a question that sends shivers down the spine of any true fan. We all remember Hinata, the shy, quiet girl who loved Naruto from the shadows, long before anyone else saw his true potential. Her love wasn't just a simple crush. It was a beacon of light in Naruto's often dark and lonely world. So, let's dive into a world without that light. What would Naruto's journey, his very character, look like without Hinata's unwavering support? Let's go back to the beginning. Naruto's childhood was marked by isolation. Feared and ostracized by the village for being the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox. He was desperately starved for acknowledgement. While others saw a monster, Hinata saw a hero. She saw his determination, his refusal to give up, and his hidden kindness. Her quiet admiration was one of the very first genuine connections Naruto ever experienced, even if he didn't fully realize it at the time. Without Hinata, this small but crucial source of validation disappears. Naruto's loneliness would have been even more profound, potentially making his pranks more destructive, his cries for attention more desperate, and his heart a little harder. Now, think about the Chunin exams. This was a turning point for both of them. Naruto's fight against Neji was fueled by his promise to Hinata. He saw how Neji's cruel philosophy of fate had crushed her spirit, and he fought to prove him wrong, not just for himself, but for her. He declared that anyone could change their destiny. Without Hinata as his motivation, would Naruto have had that same fire? He would have still disliked Neji's arrogance, sure, but the fight is deep, personnel corps. It was about defending Hinata's honor. Without her, it's just another battle. Perhaps he still wins, but the powerful message about breaking free from fate wouldn't have resonated so strongly. And then we come to the most critical moment, Pain's assault on Konoha. The village is in ruins, Kakashi is gone, and Naruto is pinned to the ground, helpless. Just as Pain is about to capture him, who steps forward? Hinata. Knowing she stood no chance, she faced a godlike entity to protect the man she loved. Her confession, "I love you, Naruto," and her subsequent brutal defeat were the catalysts. That moment of seeing someone he cared for sacrifice themselves for him pushed Naruto over the edge, unleashing the Nine-Tails' power in a fit of pure rage and grief. So, let's remove Hinata from this scene. Who steps in? Honestly, probably no one. The other rookie, ninja, were either defeated or busy elsewhere. The Jonin were overwhelmed. Naruto would be left alone, pinned down. Without Hinata's intervention, Pain could have successfully extracted the Nine-Tails right then and there. TCA game-changing moment. Pain extracts Kurama, Naruto dies. The fourth great ninja war would be lost before it even began. Obito and Madara would succeed with their infinite Tsukuyomi plan. The entire world would fall into a genjutsu-induced slumber, all because one brave Kunoichi wasn't there to buy a few precious seconds. But let's entertain a less grim scenario. Let's say, by some miracle, Naruto survives Pain's attack. Maybe Minato's chakra intervenes earlier, or some other plot device saves him. He still defeats Pain and becomes the hero of the Leaf. But what happens next? He's a hero, yes, but he's still emotionally adrift. The war arc would play out, but the emotional stakes would be different. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Neji's death was a devastating blow. As he lay dying, his final words were about how Naruto's life was not just his own anymore, because Hinata was willing to die for him. It was Hinata who pulled Naruto back from the brink of despair. She held his hand, reminded him of his ninja way, and stood with him, echoing her father's words and her own unwavering belief. Without Hinata there, who would have saved Naruto from that darkness, he would be surrounded by allies, yes, but none with the deep personal connection to pull him out of that specific spiral of grief. He might have faltered, given into Obito's taunts about the lonely path of a hero, and let's not forget about Kurama. A significant part of Naruto finally befriending Kurama was his journey of understanding love and connection. Hinata's love was a constant, a force that showed him he was worthy of being cared for. This emotional maturity was key to him connecting with the tailed beast within. Without her, his emotional growth would be stunted. He might still be the powerful hero, but he wouldn't be the complete, empathetic leader he was meant to become. Now, let's imagine the aftermath of the war. Naruto is the world's greatest hero, but who does he share his life with? The Naruto-Sakura dynamic was always one-sided. Sakura's heart belonged to Sasuke. Without Hinata, Naruto is left truly alone at the top. We'd see a Hokage who saved the world but goes home to an empty apartment every night. A man who achieved his dream but has no one to share it with. This is a tragedy in its own right. He would be a leader, a symbol, but perhaps not a happy man. The warmth and light that define Naruto's character irreleveren old begon. Think about the next generation. Boruto and Himawari wouldn't exist. This isn't just about the characters not being born. It's about the legacy of the Hyuga and Uzumaki clans. The powerful combination of their genetics, resulting in Boruto's Jogan and Himawari's Byakugan, would never happen. The future of the ninja world would look vastly different without these key players. Boruto's story, his struggle with his father's legacy, and his fight against the Otsutsuki none of it would exist. And what about Hinata herself? Without Naruto, her path is also drastically altered. Naruto was her inspiration. He gave her the courage to stand up to her family, to forge her own path, and to believe in her own strength. Without his influence, she might have remained the timid Hyuga heiress, forever living in the shadow of her father and her cousin Neji. She might have never developed her gentle step-twin lion fists or found the inner strength that made her a formidable jonin. She saved Naruto, but in many ways he saved her right back. In the end, the story of Naruto is not just a story about one boy's dream to become Hokage. It's a story about connections, about how the love and support of others can transform us. Hinata's love for Naruto was the quiet, steady heartbeat of the series. It wasn't always loud or in the spotlight, but it was always there, providing a crucial foundation for his growth. Without Hinata, Naruto might still have become strong, he might still have become a hero. But he would have been a lonelier, colder, and ultimately incomplete hero. The world would have been saved, but its savior would have lost a vital part of his own soul. Hinata didn't just marry the hero, she helped create him. So what do you guys think? Could Naruto have truly succeeded without Hinata? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more what-if scenarios from the world of anime. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.